Sunrise, Honolulu, 10:15. 10:15 being the date, not the time.
Largest maze.
I need to go to the bathroom.
We are here.
Need to go inside.
Love them flowers. July 23rd. July 28th, 1900. 15 cents per plastic.
There you go, $7.85. Oh.
Shortbread cookies. Oh my god. Look, coconut Hawaiian style pineapple coffee. I may have to sacrifice something.
Sacrifice.
One for you for your husband. Treasure box over there. If you will wish out. Good luck.
Okay, thank you.
Good luck.
What do you do?
Go in and try the key. Right there. There's a line is, but I don't know what line he's talking about.
Let's see.
Oh, I see. Right here.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Try both ways.
How are you? Mine didn't work.
How about you?
Doing well, thank you.
Where are you from?
Virginia.
Well, oh, he is the winner.
What?
Oh, wow.
And
Are
you
you
actually-
celebrating anything? Celebrating anything?
Yeah.
50th anniversary.
Anniversary.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Okay, pick one.
Pick one.
Wow. Nice.
Oh,
I hope I can reach that anniversary.
You will. You will.
I hope so. Okay, so this one is free for in the oyster.
Oh.
Go ahead, pick your oyster. I'll open for you.
Okay.
Yes, congratulations. The ugly and the name.
Okay. I want this one.
Here, we're gonna welcome the pearl.
Okay.
So tap the oyster 3 times and say aloha. 1, 2, 3, say aloha.
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 What's your name, my lady? What's your name?
Linda.
Linda and you, sir?
Yes.
And you?
Gary.
Gary. Linda and Gary. Nice meeting you both. Look at that. Yeah, you see the pearl, it means love and passion.
Love.
Yes, see that? It's beautiful.
Yes.
So Linda, we're gonna make you a ring for anniversary ring.
Okay.
Okay, come on.
Let's see.
Okay.
Go look for your ring. I'm gonna drill this one. Gary. I'm gonna drill, okay? I'm gonna make a hole.
Okay.
What do I
You like yellow? You
You
like
want a
white?
ring, or would you rather put it on a necklace?
I'm wondering. Chocolate demonstration.
Hey. Times. Wouldn't be for almost an hour. 50 minutes.
He's weed whacking his grass.
Laniakea Beach is coming up on our left. Parking is a very controversial issue at this beach, and the county is yet to provide a solution that fits traffic flow, visitors, and locals' needs. Be aware that if you park illegally, you may get ticketed or even towed.
This is Turtle Beach.
You just don't think of something like this when you think of Hawaii.
Nope. We really
I know
don't.
there's a lot of culture, but just
For the viewpoint that looks down to Waimea Bay, take the trail that goes down from the end of the car park. When it forks, follow to the left to get to the open clearing and get that great photo. It'll only take about 2 to 3 minutes to walk there.
Chicken. Oh, it goes downhill.
I don't want to go down.
I don't know how far we can go.
We're going back up, I think. 'Cause that's pretty steep. Although maybe it's right. Wow. Well, you go there, I think, is all you have to go. Oh, wow. What a view.
I don't think we better go in.
Right here, this is it.
I don't trust myself.
Right here, see? Look. Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, they said people lived in tents. Never know.
Yeah, but on the shore like that, man. Yeah, these waves over here are pretty. Well, they said the windward side was where all the weather was.
Years. Meanwhile, Protestants in New England were intrigued by 3 orphaned Hawaiian boys brought back to America. A mission was developed to go to Hawaii and save the souls of the savage Hawaiians. Through very fortunate or unfortunate timing, depending on your point of view, the first missionaries arrived in 1820, just a year after Kamehameha's death. It was a time when the Queen Kaahumanu and the Hawaiian people were very confused as the social structure disintegrated. She found Christianity very appealing, and the influence of the missionaries grew quickly and strongly on the Hawaiian people. During this time, introduced diseases like dysentery, measles, syphilis, and influenza also caused many deaths for Hawaiians who had no immunity. It was estimated that the population of true native Hawaiians was reduced from 400,000 to just 30,000.
Wow. 400,000 to 30,000.
That's a lot.
Huh?
That's a lot of deaths. The ocean always goes up and down, so to be just this much above.
As we drive along here for the next few minutes, let's look up into the mountains and cliffs. If there's been some really good rain recently, we might catch a view of a tall, slender waterfall in the high valley between the peaks. From the time of the arrival of the first Europeans, for the next 100 years, it seemed like a non-stop battle for the ownership and governance of Hawaii, between the missionaries, business interests, especially from the mainland, and of course the Hawaiian royal family, descendants of Kamehameha. Well, by now it's the late 1800s in our story. Foreigners, especially American businessmen in Hawaii, did not like the way the islands were being governed by the monarchy, and they wanted to see Hawaii annexed to the USA. They formed a group called the Hawaiian League and protested, even threatened armed violence. After almost 100 years of slowly losing control of Hawaii, the last king of Hawaii, David Kalakaua, who the main street in Waikiki is named for, was forced to sign a new constitution. And by forced, I mean he was given the choice to sign away all of the monarchy's power or face the muzzle of a bayonet. King Kalakaua died soon after. His sister became queen, a queen with no power. She tried to introduce a new constitution that returned governing power back to the Hawaiians. Well, those foreigners did not like the sound of that and convinced U.S. Marines to come ashore, and I'll say in quotation marks, restore their safety. The Queen did not have any army to repel the U.S. Marines, so she had no alternative but to surrender. She was charged with treason. That was effectively the end of Hawaiians controlling their home islands. Years later, it was acknowledged that the USA was complicit in illegally seizing Hawaii, but a path of no return was now in place.
I don't see a waterfall, though. It could be in between the rocks, like they said.
Those business interests got what they wanted when the Hawaiian royal family was overthrown. For a brief time, Hawaii was a republic, but soon it was annexed by the USA and became a territory. The economy was really quite strong for the first 50 years of the 20th century, on, of course, the back of sugar and pineapples. In 1919, the U.S. had built a naval base at Pearl Harbor. In 1936, the first regular passenger flights from the mainland began, and tourism began booming with the building of hotels and resorts. Of course, in 1941, Pearl Harbor was attacked, and the USA was now fully committed to the wars with Japan and Nazi Germany. Hawaii was placed under martial law, and the territorial government was replaced by a military governor. The rights of the population was severely curtailed. After the war, Hawaii began campaigning seriously to join the Union. After all, look at Hawaii's sacrifice in World War II. Finally, the USA allowed the path to statehood. A plebiscite was held, and 94% of people in Hawaii voted yes to the question, shall Hawaii immediately be admitted to the Union as a state? To this day, Hawaiians with long ancestry objected to the way Hawaii was admitted. They felt that the plebiscite should have also provided an option to vote for whether Hawaii should be able to become independent. Plus, there were objections to the fact that Hawaiians should have been the only ones whose vote counted. And Hawaii's future shouldn't have been decided by the Haules. Haules is the word used for foreigners who live in Hawaii. Some of that resentment of how Hawaiians lost control to foreigners still simmers today. The cone-shaped outcropping of lava off Kualoa Point resembles the peasant chapeau worn by rural Chinese farmers. Thus the name, Chinaman's Hat. The reef surrounding the island supports an abundance of marine life, and is one of Oahu's best offshore islands. You can wade or swim to the island during low tide, but the best way to get there is via kayak. Swimming leaves you subject to current changes on the way back. On the island, there's a small beach nestled into a secluded cove. There's also a small cave carved out of the lava, and the steep volcanic cone is perfect for exploring. From the island, the view back to the Ko'olau Mountains is amazing. The real name of the island is Mokoliki.
Well, Pete made the comment, or somebody made the comment.
Well, I got him in the hotel room, but I meant bring him with me here.
It does look like a hat when you think about it.
Mm-hmm.